Welcome back to Same But Different, the movie talk show nobody asked for, but you're getting anyway. My name is Derek, and over here we have... Brody couldn't make it this time around. He was busy, super busy with a new job, making big bank, and until this channel starts making big bank, can't blame him for it. We'll probably hear a little bit from him later, but until then, you're stuck with me. Did I say my name was Derek? Does it matter? Let's go to work this week. We're nearing the end. We're nearing the end of May I Have This Dance, which is the month of May where we watch dance movies. Clever, we know. And this week, we were tasked with watching Saturday Night Fever, starring a very young John Travolta. Stay tuned after the review for movie news and the next week's movie. Off the hop, and in general, this movie is not what I thought it would be. I had no really preconceived notion of what it was other than the front cover. I knew John Travolta was in it, and I knew it was about dancing. I, for some reason, assumed that it was a family movie, some sort of dance movie that the whole family could enjoy. Wow, was I wrong. This movie was so vulgar, incredibly more vulgar than I could have ever thought it would be. Definitely rated R. Don't let the kiddies watch this one. This movie started off funnier than what I thought it would be, because it made me laugh a couple times, made me chuckle. Some conversations between characters were actually quite humorous. That was maybe the first 20 minutes of the movie. From then on, it went... Man, this movie sucked. At no point throughout the movie, maybe until the very end where they fight the barracudas. Up until then, if ever I saw one of his friends on their own, I had no idea who they were. I don't think this movie made a point to really let us know who the friends were at all, who they were as characters up until the end. You kind of get used to them. It's like watching Game of Thrones. You don't know all the names of people or all the houses or all the places, but you get used to it after watching 6 or 7 episodes. I can lead into my next major point, is that nobody in this movie was important. I didn't care about anybody. Nobody mattered. There was no backstory. There was only one person that was given proper emotional character value, and that was, I don't even know his name. I can't do it, but the character who got his girlfriend pregnant. That's the only character that got proper character development. That and his brother, but his brother wasn't on screen very long. Nobody mattered. Anyway, John Travolta looks... He was 23 during the filming, and he's supposed to be playing a 19-year-old, so not that bad. Not that bad. However, John Travolta himself looks 35. Probably has looked that way since he came out of the womb. A huge thing for me in this movie while watching it is that there wasn't a plot. There were a bunch of little subplots, but there wasn't a main plot. I think they tried to drive home the fact that Tony was some wayward kid who couldn't find his way and didn't know what he wanted to do, and he tried to find that through dancing, and then there was a dance competition that didn't amount to anything and wasn't very important. What was the plot of this movie? Please help me out. There was no plot. There were so many different subplots, all with equally low stakes and importance. I didn't care about anyone or anything about in this movie. Obviously, we're watching a movie from 1977 or whatever, so the language and the conversations and the rhetoric, it's going to be dated. It's cringy, so be prepared for that if you're going to watch the movie. If you have watched the movie, best to forget about it. I couldn't understand why anybody liked John Travolta's character. There are plenty of people in this movie that were head over heels for him. Not just the women, but the men too. They wanted to be him. They wanted to be with him. It didn't make any sense because he was such an asshole. There was nothing redeeming about him whatsoever. He treated people like garbage. He treated himself like garbage. He didn't care about anything at all. He wasn't a likable person. Don't have your main character suck so much that you don't like them. You can have your main character be a shitty person, but like still have something that's charming and endearing about them. But nothing about John Travolta's character, Tony, was redeeming or attractive at all. And I don't understand why anybody liked him in the movie. It was really annoying that the same songs were being played over and over. There are plenty of disco songs out there, and I know the Bee Gees had a heavy hand in this movie, but it was almost as if we took one record, put the needle down, let it play to the end, then put the needle back at the beginning, let it play to the end, then put the needle back. You get what I'm saying. It was just the same music over and over and over, and maybe that's how it was in the 70s. I don't know, but if I went to a club now, listened to the music, danced to the music, and then the next day went to the club and they played the same playlist, I'd be pissed. That wouldn't make any sense. So the ending of the movie, he does the dance competition with Stephanie and they win. And the whole time he thinks they're going to lose because the Spanish couple did a better job. Agreed. They did a better job. And then he gets all upset that they won, even though he's been wanting to win this whole time. And he's an asshole person. Everything about his character leading up to that moment gave you the idea that he wouldn't care if it was rigged. He would have rigged the dance himself if he could. Once he wins, he starts complaining that the dance was rigged and he didn't deserve to win, which is really out of character for him. And there was no reason for that turnaround of character. It didn't make any sense. Evolving from that, out of nowhere, he starts hating all his friends, realizing they're all assholes. But there was no progress to that realization. It just kind of happened because he lost, or because he won the dance competition. Finally, the having sex with women in the backseat of the car, sure, I get it. That happened. That happens. But like with other people in the car and with other people watching, not just strangers, but friends, cheering them on, taking turns at one point, that was fucked up. That was fucked up. Like, at the end of the day, this movie's garbage. I said in our previous video that if this ended up being my favorite movie of all time, I would quit watching movies. I am happy to report I am not going to quit watching movies because this was a piece of trash. Because of the few giggles and laughs it gave me at the beginning of the movie, I gave it a 2 out of 10. Garbage movie. Hated it so much. By the end of it, I was happy to delete that file and get it off my computer. I am blown away that John Travolta had a blossoming career starting from this. Of course, this wouldn't be same but different if there wasn't some sort of other opinion on the table. I don't know if it's going to be a different opinion. I wasn't able to watch his review before he sent it in, before I'm going to edit it together. So let's hear from Brody and see what he thought about Saturday Night Fever. Over to you, Brody.
Hello, it's me, Brody. I want to apologize first and foremost that I was not able to make it to this week's episode. I started a new job recently and I've been busy. And if you can't tell, tired. Very tired. Saturday Night Fever. One of those movies everybody's heard of, but as far as the people I talk to, nobody's seen. Nobody I know has watched this movie, not even like my father, my older sister. Nobody who I would have thought grew up watching this movie did. Who was the audience? I don't know. Why? What? I didn't hate this movie as much as I expected to hate this movie. That being said, I didn't like this movie. Not even one little bit. But I expected to hate it all the way through. Now, I do want to say I have no idea what Derek has said. I haven't watched his review of it. I don't know if we're same or different. I can't imagine he liked this movie. If we just came off of Derek saying this movie was great, 9 out of 10, this is going to be really embarrassing. But I need you all to attack him in the comments. Truly, I do not have a lot of good to say. The dance numbers were fun sometimes, although mostly monotonous. Like, it just kept happening and they were way too long. It was just a music video half of the movie. The script had very small moments, like little glimpses into genuine laugh out loud comedy, but they're like 5 seconds and then it's gone, and then it's littered and surrounded by melodrama and chauvinism. So any bit that made me laugh was immediately rendered not laughable. I don't know. I think one of the biggest appeals of this movie, at least when it came out, was like, whoa, that Travolta boy can dance. My goodness gracious. I had no idea. But it's been like 47 years or something. I know he can dance. So any charm or surprise that may have helped this movie's fire back then certainly doesn't work no mo. But I also don't like John Travolta. Keep that in mind. I also don't like disco. Keep that in mind. Even with all of that in mind, even if I enjoyed what I was watching, which again, there was a point halfway through where I'm like, okay, I could give this a 3, maybe a 4. I see the appeal. I get it. And then the last 20 minutes happened. I don't know how, even in 1977, this happened. Glorifying. And that is what this movie did. And it is very uncomfortable and made my skin crawl. Glorifying literal rape? I don't get it. And from our main protagonist, how are you going to want to take the movie that this character is the center point of? He is who we are watching this movie for, and do something like that. There's no excuse. I don't care that it was, half of a century ago. There's no excuse. And then the woman just forgave him the next day when he apologized, which is also sending a very bad lesson. That one, unfortunately, the way the world works, her forgiving him, I can understand in a movie like this. I don't like it. I don't wish that for any, but I can at least understand the want to forgive him, I suppose. But doing it in the first place, you done. Blood, you're done. I don't want anything to do with this movie. John Travolta's 2 biggest movies are Grease and this, which means the 2 morals that he is sending to young women who watch his movies are A, change yourself so the bad boys like you more, which is Grease's moral, literally, and B, women, if a man apologizes, you should forgive him. No matter what he did. Doesn't matter if he went too far. He's now sorry. He learned a lesson. Fuck you, John Travolta, for taking these roles. It's disgusting. I'm genuinely heated. Maybe halfway through I was going to give this a 3 out of 10, but I will happily give this dumpster pile of a movie a 1 out of 10. Never again. Don't watch it. I'm so sorry if Derek liked it, because this is going to make for an interesting conversation. Thank you all, as always, for watching our show. It means the world to us, and I'm going to try to be around more often, obviously. I love you all. I love you, Derek. Take it away. Finish up the episode. Let him know what we're watching next week. Bye.
I hope you all enjoyed his review. I don't know what he said, but I'm sure it was insightful and wonderful, and I'm very much hoping we're on the same page about this, and we'll discuss it next time we're together. I'm just really hoping he hated it as much as I did. As if he liked this any more than a 5? Let's move on from this trash and go on to next week. I have here my Hat of Destiny. You may recognize this from the Deep Impact episode where Brody spent the week at my place and had to use this hat. So, next week's movie is going to be... No more garbage movies, please. Billy Elliot was gold. Let's get another gold one. There it is. What do we got? Oh, God. I'm really hoping this is good. Flashdance. I mean, it's been spoofed a million times. It's probably considered a classic in the dance genre. We've got to watch it. I'm glad we're watching it for the show. Flashdance. Watch it for next Monday. We'll be here discussing it. We're going to do top 5 John Travolta movies. I don't have my partner here to riff off, so these are going to be really quick. Number 5. An underrated movie in general, I think. The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. And it's solely because of the amazing mustache this man gets in the movie. Not just that, he acted it very well. I love when John Travolta acts a villain, and ever since he shaved his head, slap on some facial hair, he's a badass. It's cool, it works. Number 4, From Paris with Love. Now, I don't remember the movie too much. However, I do remember loving the movie and loving John Travolta's performance because he was hilarious, and again, shaved head, facial hair, badass. Number 3, we have... A lot of people regard this movie as Quentin Tarantino's best movie. I don't agree, but it is very good. Pulp Fiction. Great performance, an all-around memorable character in a memorable movie. Number 2, another character piece that is only as good as his counterpart in that movie, Face Off. John Travolta and Nicolas Cage, they get wild in this movie and overact their asses off. But it's an amazing movie. It's so much fun, and it's so cool to watch them just go psycho. Number 1, probably the one role John Travolta is known for specifically. Like, as soon as I think John Travolta, this is what I think about. It's Grease. It's Danny Zuko. You cannot argue this. That is his number 1 movie. I'm not saying that's the best movie he's made. I'm saying that's the best John Travolta character portrayal in a movie. The most known, the most recognized character, Danny Zuko, has to be Go Grease Lightning. I can't wait to see what Brodies are. I wish he was here though. All right, movie news. Lots of movie news. A lot happens in a week. I don't know if everybody cares about everything that's on this list. There's a ton more out there that happened that I didn't put on this list. So if you're interested, go out there and find it yourself. But these are the things that I found interesting this week. We have a new monster movie coming out from the directors of the new Scream movies, so Scream 5 and 6. They're making a new monster movie over at Universal, and it's going to be starring Angus Cloud, that guy from Euphoria, and Catherine Newton. You saw her as Cassie Lang in Ant-Man, and Will Catlett, who I recognize the face of, but I don't remember where I've seen him in. Anyway, they've been cast. New monster movie. Scream directors. You can't go wrong. There's a sequel to Twister coming out. It's called Twisters. Yeah. Adison Rae, the internet personality who became famous, I don't know how they became famous. She is going to be starring in a movie with Ryan Reynolds, Jason Momoa, Vince Vaughn, and Aubrey Plaza. And to that I say, phooey. Why are we giving huge roles to internet stars? I don't let them thrive on the internet. Don't put them in Hollywood movies. Ugh. Unless their internet personality or their YouTube, TikTok personality is an aspiring actor who does auditions and things like that. Just because they're famous, fuck off. Hate that. Monica Bellucci and Willem Dafoe have been cast in the new Beetlejuice sequel coming out. And great. Willem Dafoe, love you. Monica Bellucci, I've had a crush since I was 13. So welcome to the Beetlejuice family. Let's talk Superman casting rumors. I think we touched upon it a bit last week, and I'm not going to get too much into it, but what I do want to say is rumors be rumors. Although I am a victim of getting excited for rumors, they're just rumors. Get people like something like this comes out and they take it as gospel and they cling on to that, and then they're disappointed when it's not true. Just let rumors be rumors and move on. I don't want to see Corn Sweat as Superman. He looks like a Superman, don't get me wrong, but I feel like they're only casting him because he looks like Henry Cavill. Anyway, starts filming in January, so that's pretty cool. Jackie Chan is coming back for a new Karate Kid movie. I don't know if this is going to be a sequel from the Jaden Smith one, but the plot kind of outlines that it's not the same character, so I don't know what's happening with that. Eddie Murphy. Let's talk Eddie Murphy. I love Eddie Murphy. Whenever he pops up in the news, I'm excited to see what he's up to, and this is really cool news. He is going to be the next Pink Panther. At least he's in talks to be. And that's really exciting. I think he'd do a really cool job as a Pink Panther. Clouseau? Is that the name? Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 will be released next year. Haven't seen the first one. I definitely plan on it. Seeing how bad it was, I can't really imagine why it's getting a sequel. It must be a passion project of these people, and they're putting their own money into it because it was garbage, apparently. 'Tis the season for standing ovations. Cannes Film Festival has premiered Indiana Jones 5 and Killers of the Flower Moon. Indiana Jones 5 got a 5-minute standing ovation, largely due to the fact that it was Harrison Ford's last movie and everybody was giving him a farewell send-off. And then Killers of the Flower Moon got a 9-minute standing ovation. It's probably really good. I don't want to judge movies based on how long people stood and clapped for it. That doesn't make sense to me. And I don't know why that's news, but there it is. I had to read it, and now you have to hear it. That's it for news. Like I said, there's a bunch more. That's the news that mattered to me in the entertainment industry. Next Monday, please, please, please watch Flashdance and come back and discuss it with us. If you like what you saw here, subscribe to the channel, like the video. We're going to produce so much more movie content for you guys, and it's just going to keep coming. So you might as well stay in the loop and be on board with this. Love you all. Thank you so much for talking movies with me. Brody, if you're here, anywhere, love you too. Thanks for talking movies. Always a pleasure, and we'll see you next time. Same but different. Love you. Bye. I wish he was here though.